Hare Krishna. So, Adhyay 2, we are studying chapter 2 of Bhagavad Gita, the title of which is Contents of Gita Summarized. And we have completed 40 shlokas. So more than 50% of it is complete. Hope you are all reading, huh? Because I have to give the date. And that date will be which is suitable to all. Like, I don't know. I don't want maybe before going on leave, that is in July first week after Jagannath Yatra. That's what. First week of. Okay. So then third week. We'll see. Okay. Third week we'll see. Otherwise. Hare Krishna. So today we are going to discuss upon text number 41. Okay. So just repeat after me. Hope you have the book. Huh? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtakim Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namah Govindaya Namo Namah Govindaya Namo Namah Adhyay 2 श्लोक क्रमांक 41 श्लोक 2 श्लोक 2.41 repeat after me. Hare Krishna. Vyavasāyātmikā buddhi ekeha kuru-nandana bahu-śākhā anantāś buddhayo vyavasāyinām vyavasāyātmikā buddhir ekeha kuru-nandana bahu-śākhā anantāś buddhayo vyavasāyinām. Yes, Prabhuji. Vyavasāyātmikā buddhir ekeha kuru-nandana bahu-śākhā anantāś buddhayo vyavasāyinām.
Vyavasāyātmikā buddhir
Vyavasāyātmikā buddhir
ekeha kuru-nandana bahu-śākhā
anantāś
buddhayo vyavasāyinām.
buddhayo vyavasāyinām. Children, what happened? Vyavasāyātmikā buddhir ekeha kuru-nandana bahu-śākhā anantāś buddhayo vyavasāyinām. बुद्धयो के बाद में स है क्या वहां पर? नहीं है ना? That's what it's that that's why facing it very difficult. In the online it is given in between. That's why.
Yeah. Vyavasāyātmikā buddhir.
Vyavasāyātmikā buddhir एकेहा कुरु-नन्दन bahu-śākhāय anantāś buddhayo vyavasāyinām vyavasāyātmikā buddhir ekeha kuru-nandana bahu-śākhāy anantāś buddhayo vyavasāyinām vyavasāyātmikā buddhir ekeha kuru-nandana bahu-śākhāy anantāś buddhayo vyavasāyinām। और कोई लेंगे माता जी कोई प्रभु जी और कोई
vyavasāyātmikā buddhir
vyavasāyātmikā buddhir
ekeha kuru-nandana
ekeha kuru-nandana
bahu-śākhā anantāś
bahu-śākhā anantāś
buddhayo vyavasāyinām।
buddhayo vyavasāyinām। हरे कृष्णा। वर्ड टू वर्ड मीनिंग लेते हैं। व्यवसाय आत्मिका कृष्ण भावनामृत में स्थिर बुद्धि एका एकमात्र इह इस संसार में कुरु-नंदन हे कुरुओं के प्रिय बहुशाखा अनेक शाखाओं में विभक्त ही निस्संदेह अनंता असीम च भी बुद्धय बुद्धे अव्यवसायिनाम जो कृष्ण भावनामृत में नहीं है उनकी अनुवाद तात्पर्य में ऐसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद के द्वारा श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। मेरे पीछे दोहराइए। जो इस मार्ग पर चलते हैं वे प्रयोजन में दृढ़ रहते हैं और उनका लक्ष्य भी एक होता है। हे कुरु-नंदन जो दृढ़ प्रतिज्ञ नहीं है उनकी बुद्धि अनेक शाखाओं में विभक्त रहती है। तात्पर्य पढ़िए।
इस दृढ़ श्रद्धा की कृष्ण भावनामृत द्वारा मनुष्य जीवन की सर्वोच्च सिद्धि प्राप्त कर सकेगा। व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धि कहलाती है। चैतन्य चरितामृत में मध्य 2262 में कहा गया है, श्रद्धा शब्द विश्वास कहे सुदृढ़ निश्चय कृष्ण भक्ति कहले सर्व कर्म कृत्य है। श्रद्धा का अर्थ है किसी अलौकिक वस्तु में अटूट विश्वास। जब कोई कृष्ण भावनामृत में के कार्यों में लगा होता है तो उसे परिवार, मानवता या राष्ट्रीयता से बद्ध का कार्य करने की आवश्यकता नहीं होती। पूर्व में किए गए शुभ अशुभ कर्मों के फल ही उसे साकाम कर्मों में लगाते हैं। जब कोई कृष्ण भावनामृत में संलग्न हो तो उसे अपने कार्यों के शुभ फल के लिए प्रयत्नशील नहीं करना चाहिए। जब कोई कृष्ण भावनामृत में लीन होता है तो उसके सारे कार्य आध्यात्मिक धरातल पर होते हैं, क्योंकि उसने अच्छे तथा बुरे का द्वैत नहीं रह जाता। कृष्ण भावनामृत की सर्वोच्च सिद्धि देहात्मा बुद्धि का त्याग है। कृष्ण भावनामृत की प्रगति के साथ क्रमशः यह अवस्था स्वतः प्राप्त हो जाती है। कृष्ण भावना भावित व्यक्ति का दृढ़ निश्चय ज्ञान पर आधारित है। वासुदेव शर्मम इतिशा महात्मा सुदुर्लभ। कृष्ण भावना भावित व्यक्ति अत्यंत दुर्लभ जीव है, जो भली भांति जानता है कि वासुदेव या कृष्ण समस्त प्रकट कारणों के मूल कारण हैं। जिस प्रकार वृक्ष की जड़ सींचने पर स्वतः ही पत्तियां तथा टहनियों में जल पहुंच जाता है, उसी तरह कृष्ण भावना भावित होने पर मनुष्य प्रत्येक प्राणी की अर्थात अपने परिवार की, समाज की, मानवता की सर्वोच्च सेवा कर सकता है। यदि मनुष्य के कर्मों में कृष्ण प्रसन्न हो जाएं, तो प्रत्येक व्यक्ति संतुष्ट होगा। किंतु कृष्ण भावनामृत में सेवा गुरु के समर्थ निर्देशन में ही ठीक से हो पाती है, क्योंकि गुरु कृष्ण का प्रमाणिक प्रतिनिधि होता है जो शिष्य के स्वभाव से परिचित होता है और उसे कृष्ण भावनामृत की दिशा में कार्य करने के लिए मार्ग दिखा सकता है। अतः कृष्ण भावनामृत के में दक्ष होने के लिए मनुष्य को दृढ़ता से कर्म करना होगा और कृष्ण के प्रतिनिधि की आज्ञा का पालन करना होगा। उसे गुरु के उपदेशों को जीवन का लक्ष्य मान लेना होगा। श्रील विश्वनाथ चक्रवर्ती ठाकुर ने गुरु की प्रसिद्ध प्रार्थना में उपदेश दिया है, यश प्रसादात भगवत प्रसादो यशा प्रसादान गति ततो अपि
ध्यान स्तुवन्तस्य यशस्ति संध्यम
वंदे गुरु श्री चरणारविंदम। गुरु की दृष्टि से भगवान भी प्रसन्न होते हैं। गुरु को प्रसन्न किए बिना कृष्ण भावनामृत के स्तर पर पहुंच पाने की कोई संभावना रहित नहीं रहती। अतः मुझे उनका चिंतन करना चाहिए और दिन में 3 बार उनकी कृपा की याचना करनी चाहिए और अपने गुरु को सादर नमस्कार करना चाहिए। किंतु यह संपूर्ण पद्धति देहात्मा बुद्धि से परे सैद्धांतिक रूप से नहीं वरन व्यवहारिक रूप से पूर्ण आत्मज्ञान पर निर्भर करती है। जब सकाम कर्मों से इंद्रिय तत्व की कोई संभावना नहीं रहती, जिसका मन दृढ़ नहीं है, वही विभिन्न सकाम कर्मों की ओर आकर्षित है।
हरि ओम तत्सत्। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सगणा ललितां श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। सो अध्याय 2 श्लोक क्रमांक 40 तक की चर्चा हमने कर चुकी है। तो 40वें श्लोक को एक बार रिकैप करते हैं। तो कुछ नए भक्त आए हैं, उनको थोड़ा रिकैप रहेगा। लाइक वी आर इन द चैप्टर 2। फर्स्ट चैप्टर Arjuna had asked some 5 questions, 4 questions basically, and the 5th question was asked in chapter 2. So the questions were based on some logics that, first was based on compassion, that how will I kill my own men? That was compassion. And the second reason he said, I do not want to do the fight is because of loss of family enjoyment. If I lose my family members, whom will I enjoy with? Because if you get first rank, you should share the rank with others, right? Third one is, if I kill my own men, I will get sinful reactions. I will get sins. And fourth one, the family traditions will get destructed because family members will will die in the battlefield, and women will be alone. So who will inculcate the family values in the children? And the 5th reason he says, I know Bhishma Pitama, Dronacharya are on their side, which are on the wronger side, but still I cannot kill them because I'm a bit confused. So confusion. In this way, he gives 5 reasons, and he says, I am unable to come out of this, so I am surrendering up to you. Shishyastayam shadi mam tvam prapannam, he says, I am surrendering to you, Krishna. You are my guru, and you please tell me what is best for me, so that I can come out of this, situation. So Krishna takes the situation of a guru and he starts instructing. So from 2.11, Bhagavad Gita real instruction starts. So first chapter and up to chapter 10, of course there are instructions within that also, but implied instructions. But actual Krishna starts speaking from 2.11. He speaks 2 shlokas in 2.2 and 3 also, but only to scold Arjuna, that what are you doing? And 11 to 30, he speaks about Atma Jnana, which is the Gyan between the body, soul and the super soul. Stating that, we are not the body, we are the soul. That is the main conclusion of those 20 shloks. So when we are Atma cannot be killed, it cannot be burnt, it cannot be dried. All qualities, many qualities of Atma are there. So, it doesn't die. So who dies is the body. Write the example, like if somebody dies, we say, wo chale gaye. That is where wo chale gaye, wo to samne so rahe, but the chale gaye is the person, the spirit soul within us. So 11 to 30, he speaks about Atma Jnana and dismantles the first reason, compassion. So compassion for a body which is anyway going to die. No use. You don't have compassion for your clothes, you change every day. Then he speaks about duties. He comes from some sloka number 31 of second chapter to 38. He speaks about duties, swadharma. What is your duty? You have to do that. If you don't do that, you will incur sinful reaction. Actually, for a Kshatriya, I give the example, fighting is the only thing which will give you enjoyment. Rest all things will not give you enjoyment. So if you fight, you will get that real enjoyment. That real enjoyment is you will go to Swarga and enjoy your life. And if you do not perform your duty as a Kshatriya, you will get sin. So 3 reasons he dismantles up to 38. And still Arjuna has a doubt, slightest of the doubt, that Krishna is saying that if I kill my own men, there will be no sin incurred. But killing involves some kind of sin. So slightest of the doubt Arjuna has that if I kill, there is something that sin would be there. Then Krishna changes his topic and he comes to Nishkam Karma Yukta. In 31 to 38, he said, you do this, you will get. So, in case of, Sakam Karma, like you do this act and you will get this reward. So you perform here, you will get Swarga. Okay, if you die, you will get Swarga. If you don't die, you will get your Rajya and you can enjoy. So both way, he gives, Sakam Karma, like, you do this and you will get this. You do this and you get this. And then now he changes to Nishkam Karma. Then in 37, he says, fight for the sake of fighting. And in 38, he says,
Did you explain 38?
Yeah, that's what Sakam Karma actually it comes to. So fight for the sake of fighting, he says in 37, and then he comes in 38, he says, इतना बुद्धि अपने कलयुग की बुद्धि है ना, सुख दुख समय कृत्वा लाभा लाभो जया जयो तथो युद्धा युजस्व नैवं पापम. So that forgetting everything, there is duality in this world. Forget about happiness and distress. Forget about the loss and gain. Forget about whether you win or whether you lose. In either way, you have to fight. So before that, he was saying you have to fight because you are a Kshatriya, you will get Swarga. And here he says whether you lose or fight. So this way he gives a kind of contradiction. That is where he comes to Sakam Karma. That is, Idaji Prabhu? No? So don't expect any kind of results, but do your fighting because that's what. And going forward, we'll understand that. ऊपर पैर कर लो आप तो आ जाएंगे प्रभु उधर. नहीं ठीक है. हाँ तो इसीलिए ऊपर बैठ जाए प्रभु. कुर्सियां भी है. डोंट वरी अबाउट इट. उसके लिए अपन को तकलीफ नहीं लेना चाहिए. Then what about last shloka? Then last shloka, what did Krishna say? We'll have to recap. 2.40.
Any steps taken in Krishna consciousness that will not get lost.
Yes, any steps we take towards eternity or Krishna consciousness will not get lost. Yeah.
And it will be carried to every janma until we get liberation.
Okay, fine. Yes. So there is no loss. Yes. So they're basically doing the Sakam Karma. He says use your buddhi. In 39, he says use your buddhi. Do buddhi, use your buddhi and do the yoga. Yoga we understood was connection with Krishna. So using your buddhi, you have to connect to Krishna, and he says, then he gives advantages in the last shloka, that is in 40. If you use your buddhi what is the ultimate goal? That, whatever you do, there will be no loss. In fact, first point is there will be no loss. है ना, तुम्हारा कुछ जाएगा नहीं. अगर तुमने हरे कृष्णा महामंत्र कर लिया तो आपका कुछ जाएगा नहीं. सेकंड फायदा क्या बताया था? हाँ, there is no diminution. कि हम सोचते हैं कि like whatever we do, it will gain appreciation. No, in material life, whatever you do, it will not appreciate except land value, which is, of course, land belongs to the Lord only. Land also ultimately belongs to Lord, because as Bhumi Devi is wife of Varahadev, and Varahadev is none other than Krishna or Vishnu, right? So ultimately, the entire land belongs to Krishna only. So that is why that has appreciation. Rest all things depreciates only in life. So here he says, whatever you do in Buddhi Yoga, that will never depreciate. Okay, so we understood the aspects of depreciation as well as appreciation, like, how it will be appreciated, or there will be only progression and not regression. That is what is the actual word. So progression, how do you get? You get next birth also in a family of Brahmana, you in a family of Vaishnava, where you have left your bhakti, you get a chance to start from there, or from childhood you get that mahal, that you get that atmosphere, so that you can pick up your bhakti right from childhood itself. Then, apart from that, last thing he says is swalpam apyasa dharmasya, by doing little in the dharmasya, that is in the path of dharma, you will be you will be relieved of great dangers. Swalpam apyasa dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat, you will be relieved from very great dangers. So the greatest danger of life is what? Death, right? Janma mrityu jara vyadi. So this is the 4 things which we never want, but it comes to us without saying also, right? Janma is not in our hands, but still people take birth. Maran is not in our hands. People have to die, whatever be the case. And vyadhi, jara, nobody wants to look old. People dye their hair, including me. So, so nobody wants to become old, but old age will come. And nobody wants to get sick, but sickness would come. So this is the biggest factor, and we have to get relieved from this factor. Okay, anything else you remember? कुछ और याद है पिछले क्लास का? Take baby steps. Yeah, at a long jump it is not possible, so always take baby steps. So start from one round, start from smaller activities towards Krishna consciousness. And one more important point I said, like applying your buddhi, you have to do this yoga, right? So there are different types of yogas. We understood karma yoga, jnana yoga, dhyana yoga, right? Bhakti yoga. Whatever kind of thing you do, you have to develop attraction towards that. Otherwise, it's not possible, right? Uske liye aapko, you have to get into that, something should attract you, and then you perform that activity. Utsuk rehna padta hai aapko us cheez ko paane ke liye. So the goal of life is to go back home, back to Godhead, and we have to be utsuk for that. For that, we have various forms of yoga to connect with the Supreme. Whatever be the yoga, whatever be the connection with the Supreme, ultimately it will lead us to the spiritual realization path. But we'll understand going forward that Bhakti Yoga is the best method through which one can reach to that goal very easily. When we come to 12th chapter, we'll understand that. So that way. So those were the importance which we spoke. And today, so we spoke about Buddhi Yoga. Buddhi Yoga, we just said one line that day, right? And we said we will, going forward, we'll understand. And that is what today, again, that Buddhi has come. Vyavasāyātmikā buddhihi ekeha kuru-nandana bahu-śākhā anantāś buddhayo vyavasāyinām. I think so. Buddhayo, their S is there. So in that Hindi, when I was referring online Hindi, that Sanskrit, that half S is there, no? That is written as full S. And that is where I was getting why I am getting the one word extra while reading. When I read 8 words, 8 letters, so when I speak 8 letters, automatically the tune would come. The tune was going off way. Why is it? Because I'm reading from what I'm saying. That's why I got a doubt and I asked you. So, bahu-śākhā anantāś buddhayo vyavasāyinām. So, ट्रांसलेशन वाज वेरी इजी। जो इस मार्ग पर चलते हैं वे प्रयोजन में दृढ़ रहते हैं और उनका लक्ष्य भी एक रहता है। हे कुरुनंदन, जो दृढ़ प्रतिज्ञा उनकी बुद्धि अनेक शाखाओं में विभक्त रहती है। सागर। सो कृष्णा इज कंटिन्यूइंग टू टॉक about the process of yoga, right? Buddhi yoga. So last shloka we understood 3 glories of following that yoga, and now he is talking about that determination which will give you success in this path of yoga. He is talking about that determination which will give you success in this path of yoga. Okay, so how one should focus his goal to attain that buddhi, through which we can have yoga with Krishna, because he said, in 37 he already said, buddhya yukto yaya partha, he said, Arjuna, perform yoga with your buddhi, right? So how one has to focus his goal to attain that buddhi, which will help us in connecting with yoga with Krishna. So vyavasāyātmikā, the first word they used is vyavasāyātmikā. If you break, it is 2 words. क्या हुआ मोहित? बैठो बैठो, पगे लगो, बैठो। सो व्यवसायत्मिका, व्यवसायत्मिका जब हम ब्रेक करते हैं तो देयर आर 2 वर्ड्स, व्यवसाय प्लस आत्मिका. व्हाट इज व्यवसाय इन जनरल पार्लेंस? Business. Okay. In Sanskrit sense, it is? In Sanskrit, it is? No, you read the meaning right now. Determination. What is the meaning given? हिंदी में अभी पढ़े ना अपन ने, लक्ष्य, बुद्धि, व्यवसाय, कृष्ण भावना में स्थिर. Okay. So that is what it is like. In Sanskrit it means determination. Okay, or you can call it a one-pointed resolute determination. With one goal. You should have one goal with resolute determination. ना, जब अर्जुन को पूछा गया था तुमको क्या दिख रहा है, बाकी सबने बोला हमको पत्ते दिख रहे हैं, हमको झाड़ दिख रहा है, हमको ये दिख रहा है, वो सब दिख रहा है. जब अर्जुन को पूछा गया तो अर्जुन ने क्या बोला था द्रोणाचार्य के सामने? मुझे सिर्फ पक्षी की आंख दिखाई दे रही है. द रेजोल्यूट डिटर्मिनेशन. ही हैड दैट single pointed focus, and with that single pointed focus when he determined, द्रोणाचार्य said okay, छोड़ो तीर, है ना, तो जाके पक्षी के आंख में वो लगा. तो व्यवसायत्मिका, तो आत्मिक व्यवसाय in Sanskrit means determination, the single pointed determination. And आत्मिका क्या बोलते हैं? आत्मिका is the essence. Actually आत्मिका means is the essence. So the essence of buddhi is what? Determination. Okay, so vyavasaya atmika. Atmika is an adjective of atma. Atma ka visheshan hai atmika. Right? Adjectives, right? One who gives quality of the noun, right? Noun or pronoun. So one who gives the quality of the noun. So atmika is a quality of atma. Quality of atma. So that quality of atma is what? Essence. So essentially atmika means essence of one single pointedness or dot pointedness intelligence. So vyavasāyātmika buddhi as a whole total, when we see, it is a business whose atma, whose essence, whose atma, that is whose atma, that is इस बुद्धि की आत्मा क्या है? Essence. ना, उस essence है resolute determination. इसको हम एग्जाम्पल के तहत समझ सकते हैं. बोलते जनरली क्या होता है कि भाई आत्मा बोलते जनरली क्या होता है कि जीवात्मा, है ना. अभी तक हम यही समझ रहे हैं ना, 20 श्लोकों में हमने आत्मा बोलते जीवात्मा ही समझा था. बट हियर यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड व्हेन व्यवसाय आत्मिका, व्हेन इट इज बीइंग सेड व्यवसाय की आत्मिका जब बता रहे हैं, इट इज गिविंग अ स्पेशलिटी ऑफ दैट, नॉट अबाउट दैट जीवात्मा, बट द स्पेशलिटी ऑफ दिस योगा, बिकॉज द कनेक्शन कहां से शुरू हुआ? अभी बुद्धि योग शुरू हो रहा है ना. तो व्यवसाय आत्मिका, तो आत्मा is that atma in general is jivatma, but when it comes to that part of that living entity which helps that living entity to grow, to sustain, to understand. So you are understanding what I mean saying? उस चीज के वजह से क्या हो गया आज? क्या हो गया तेरे को वापस आज? उस चीज का नाम जिसके कारण, वह चीज जिसके कारण शरीर में बढ़ोतरी होती है, शरीर में घटता बढ़ता है, मतलब आत्मा जिसको बोलते हैं ना, तो वो हमारे शरीर में कैसा है, वो आत्मा हमारे शरीर, हमने वो समझा भी था, राइट, कि आत्मा के कारण ये शरीर घटता बढ़ता है ना। तो ये आत्मा उस चीज का नाम है, मीन्स जिसके कारण उस शरीर में परिवर्तन देखे जा सकते हैं। तो हमारे लिए तो आत्मा हमारे हृदय में विराजमान है, राइट। फॉर अस द आत्मा इज इन आवर हार्ट, राइट, इन आवर हार्ट रीजन, वी अंडरस्टूड। परंतु एक ट्री का एग्जांपल लेते हैं, तो ट्री के अंदर उसकी आत्मा कहाँ रहती है? जड़ में रहती है ना। तो ट्री के अंदर उसकी आत्मा उसके जड़ में रहती है ना, तो उसके जड़ में विराजमान है। तो द एसेंस ऑफ ट्री इज टू सर्वाइव ऑन इट्स रूट्स, राइट। The tree survives on its roots, right? The moment the root is damaged, the tree falls, right? So the tree, so वही कहने का चीज है कि it is only because of that root that the tree's tall stands, gets nourished, and grows into a huge tree, right? So the tree starts growing by its roots. Similarly, we say buddhi, intelligence. We call it buddhi or intelligence. So when I say it is the same thing. So buddhi in English means intelligence. The buddhi's essence is that the buddhi's essence is to be understood as that strong, resolute determination. Similarly, that buddhi's essence is that strong, resolute determination. That strong, resolute determination through which one can get away from the karma bandhana. Last time we spoke about escape velocity and all those, right? So that determination through which one can get away with the karma bandhana, break free from the karmic bondage. And that is what Srila Prabhupada today in the purport is referring to as Dhrida Shraddha. Okay, Dhrida Shraddha. इसलिए जब उसका ट्रांसलेशन का मीनिंग श्रीला प्रभुपाद ने दिया, तो उन्होंने सीधा ही उसको क्या बोल दिया? कृष्ण भावनामृत में स्थिर। दृढ़ श्रद्धा जो कृष्ण भावनामृत में स्थिर है। ओके, हम इमीडिएटली नहीं समझ में आएंगे थोड़ा, इसलिए हम जब एनालिसिस करेंगे व्हाट इज दृढ़ श्रद्धा एंड ऑल दोस, तभी हमको समझ में आएंगे, है ना। तो इसके लिए उन्होंने क्या बोला कि फेथ मीन्स अनफ्लिंचिंग ट्रस्ट इन समथिंग विच इज सबलाइन। फेथ इज अनफ्लिंचिंग ट्रस्ट विद इन समथिंग विच इज सबलाइन, राइट, विच इज इटर्नल, राइट। जिसको हम सबलाइन किसको बोलते हैं? जो एटर्निटी से कनेक्टेड हो, जो परमात्मा से कनेक्टेड हो। सो ए स्ट्रॉन्ग फेथ that by Krishna consciousness one will be elevated to the highest perfection of life is called vyavasāyātmikā buddhi. And he gives the reference of Chaitanya Charitamrita. Shraddha shabde vishwase kahe srudruda nishchaya Krishna bhakti kaile sarva karma krita hoya. That's what he gave, right? Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 22.62. तो श्रद्धा नाम का शब्द उस विश्वास को कहा जाता है जिसको हम दृढ़ निश्चय कहते हैं। इस दृढ़ निश्चय से कृष्ण भक्ति कोई कर लेगा तो उसके सारे कर्म कट जाएंगे, कृत्य है। ओके, सो लास्ट टाइम व्हेन आई सेड about this, if you do little of efforts in the Krishna consciousness, you will reach that supreme destination. Okay, that is where we said one of the thing is taking Hare, chanting of the Lord's glory name. That is where we say Hare Krishna Mahamantra. If you chant, actually that will help you to get closer to Krishna. So as the tree stands tall on its roots, as it gets nourishment from its roots and grows strong based on its roots, similarly the single point focus, resolute determination, the vyavasāyātmikā buddhi, the shraddha, makes the person tall, stand tall, get nourished, and grow towards eternity, towards something which is sublime. When we say eternity, towards something which is sublime, and towards Krishna consciousness. Whereas the highest sublime position is Goloka, Krishna consciousness. Tree grows huge and the roots strongly hold the ground deeply, right? Similarly, this buddhi or intelligence sharpens and its roots in form of determination, Shraddha gets stronger and deepened. जैसे वृक्ष की जड़ें मजबूत होती, जैसे जैसे झाड़ बढ़ता है तो वृक्ष की जड़ें मजबूत होती है, वैसे ही इस बुद्धि की जड़ें उसके स्ट्रॉन्ग डिटर्मिनेशन से, उसकी श्रद्धा से डीपन होती है। ठीक है, यहाँ कुछ समझ में आया?
मेरी दोस्त क्या समझ तो आया, मैं थोड़ा सा आपकी बात में थोड़ा कंफ्यूज कर रही है।
कौन सी बातें कंफ्यूज करेगी?
श्रद्धा का ताल्लुक मन से है बुद्धि से?
यहाँ बुद्धि से।
हाँ, ये तो यहाँ बुद्धि से।
यस,
यही तो बोला, यहाँ बुद्धि से
या
है।
बिकॉज इसीलिए बुद्धि का रेफरेंस भी दिया इसलिए आपको। श्रद्धा शब्द विश्वास से कहे सुदृढ़ निश्चय, क्योंकि ये जो डिटर्मिनेशन है बुद्धि का कार्य है, मन का कार्य नहीं है।
आई थिंक बुद्धि का कार्य सिर्फ जस्ट डिस्टिंग्विश करना होता है।
डिस्टिंग्विश करना एंड
डिटर्मिनेशन कार्य मन से नहीं होता।
आएगा, उसके ऊपर भी हम आएंगे। परंतु बुद्धि कोई भी, अब है ना, हम क्यों बोलते हैं ये पर्टिकुलर पर्सन बहुत, हम उसके ऊपर भी आएंगे, ठीक है, हम थोड़ा चर्चा करेंगे, ठीक है, अदरवाइज विल गेट दिस थिंग, क्योंकि बुद्धि और मन के ऊपर हम आएंगे। तो व्यवसायत्मिका, अभी तो मैंने एक ही वर्ड बोला, उसके ऊपर थोड़ा डिसमिनेशन करेंगे। व्यवसायत्मिका बुद्धि एकेह, एकेह, इसको जब हम ब्रेक करते हैं तो एक इह, विच मीन्स देयर इज ओनली वन इन दिस वर्ल्ड। vyavasāyātmikā buddhi is only one in this world, not multi-branched. Ekeha means only one, not multi-branched. So there are some trees which has, in the world, which has only one branch. It goes taller, 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 right? You have some trees which doesn't have extra branches. It is just one stem, one strong stem which grows into a tree, and it's just a taller, taller tree. So ekaiha means it has no other branches, only ekaiha. Similarly, the buddhi here, this vyavasāyatmika buddhi, is only one. It should be only towards single pointed focus and not multi-branch focus. So that is where exactly Bhagavad Gita gives us again that one has to have focus in his life, and that focus should be very strong, with determination. So how many of us worship daily? सभी लोग घर में पूजा करते हैं, आरती करते हैं, कुछ करते ही है ना? ओके, नाउ आई विल एक्सपेंड टू इट, लाइक किसकी पूजा करते हैं?
भगवान की तरफ। भगवान की तरफ,
सिर्फ भगवान की, कृष्ण की। ऐसा भी होता है कि मंडे हम शिव जी की करते हैं, ट्यूसडे हम हनुमान जी की करते हैं, वेडनेसडे हम गणेश जी की करते हैं। हाँ, होता है। ठीक है, ठीक है, ठीक है,
आप किसी को भी कहते हैं भगवान।
ना, ठीक है, तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं ना, ऐसा करते हैं ना, हम तो देखते हैं लाइफ में।
मतलब मैं कोई पॉजिटिव लेता हूँ।
नहीं, आप उसको अपने जीवन में उतारने का आप बड़े क्लियर हो, प्रॉब्लम में चिंता नहीं है, मुझे लोगों की भी ये क्लियर करना है।
लोग भी कह रहा हूँ, लोग भी होता है, पीछे भगवान ही होता है, ये नहीं होता कि
हाँ, तो वो उस चीज को समझना है उनको भी। वो मैं भी देवी देवता बोल रहा हूँ, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है। हाँ, देवी देवता, भगवान और देवी देवता में अंतर है थोड़ा। तो गणपति देव, महादेव, हम सब यही बोलते हैं, देवा वो देवा, गणपति देवा ही बोलते हैं हम, भगवान वो भगवान, गणपति भगवान नहीं बोलते हम। तो कहने का मतलब है देवी देवता और भगवान में अंतर होता है, ये बहुत पहले से हमने समझ आए हैं। तो ऐसा होता है ना, यू समटाइम्स यू फाइंड इट लाइक कभी होता, मीन्स लाइक हमने देखा भी है, भाई आज मंगलवार है, हमको आज हनुमान जी के मंदिर जाना है ना, आज शनिवार है, आज शुक्रवार है, हमको वैभव लक्ष्मी के मंदिर जाना है, लक्ष्मी, लाइक हम लोग करते हैं ऐसा, राइट? यस। सो क्या हम सबके पति ऐसे कितने देवी देवता हैं शास्त्रों के हिसाब से? 33 करोड़, 33 करोड़। ऐसे क्या हम सारे 33 करोड़ देवी देवता के ऊपर हम कभी ऐसा दृढ़ निश्चय या श्रद्धा रख पा सकेंगे? हमको तो कई बार उनके नाम ही नहीं पता। इंद्र की माता का नाम, इंद्र की माता भी देवी है, दीति है, चलो ठीक है, कितने लोगों को, चलो इंद्र की पुत्रियों के नाम हमें तो पता नहीं है ना। तो इस प्रकार 33 करोड़ का नंबर जब आता है तो हम हर किसी पे तो श्रद्धा का पार्ट हमारा आ नहीं सकता। So this is what we say, the multi-branched faith. This is what is called is multi-branched faith. So Krishna is saying here, vyavasāyātmikā buddhi, ekeha. Ekeha means have single focus. Develop that vyavasāyātmikā buddhi, that determined intelligence. You should have one. Which one? I leave it up to you. I don't say that चाहे देवी देवता का आप करो, आप कृष्ण का करो, आप राम का करो, आप जगन्नाथ का करो, जिसका भी करो. Have your, as श्रद्धा, जो अटूट श्रद्धा जिसके प्रति है, वह होना चाहिए एकैः. So if you ask me, then of course we'll say Krishna, because Krishna consciousness. We are dealing with ISKCON, which is Krishna consciousness. We'll say Krishna. And going ahead in chapters, you will get clear that why Krishna. In 2.38, we already read one shloka, right, which came from Bhagavatam. Devarshi bhutatmaninam pitrunam chekinkarim. What was the meaning of that? That if we do Krishna's service, then we get rinmukta from all the demigods, all the Devi Devata, sages, father, ancestors, इन सबके से हम ऋण मुक्त हो जाते हैं ना. सो इन सब से हम ऋण मुक्त हो जाते हैं. तो श्रीला प्रभुपाद इसीलिए कहते थे, श्रीला प्रभुपाद का फोकस वाज वेरी क्लियर. हिज फोकस वाज ओनली वन. व्हाट वाज दैट? कृष्णा. यहां तक कि ये सोसाइटी का नाम जब रखना चाह रहे थे तो एवरीबडी सेड टू हिम, Prabhupada, don't write Krishna because Westerners do not know who Krishna is. Right? International Society for God Consciousness. He said, no. Gods are many. Supreme God is one. And he said that is Krishna. And that is why he said, I want to name it as Krishna consciousness. He was very determined. Strong, single point, resolute determination. So firm faith on Krishna. So it implies, how do we elaborate on this faith? So, if it implies that, one engaged in Krishna consciousness has no obligations in this material world, sabhi se rin mukt ho jata hai. His no longer the endeavors are for fruitive activities. क्योंकि जब वो कृष्णा से कनेक्ट होता है तो उसको आगे चल के पता चलेगा कर्मण्येवाधिकार से आने वाला है. तो he will not be attracted to the fruitive activities. अभी तक 31 से 38 कृष्णा said, you have to go for Swarga. You have to fight, win, and attain kingdom, or you die and go to Swarga. So the obligation, he has no obligation. So the material world में कोई obligation नहीं है, and that is, he doesn't perform activities for fruitive, for sense enjoyment, and he is no longer on the plane of good activities and bad activities. ये bad karma हो रहा है, ये good karma हो रहा है. Because when we connect with Krishna, automatic good and bad karma, everything we have to, of course, we should not perform bad karma. But then, when we are in Krishna consciousness, when we are surrendering it to Krishna, then, Krishna takes care of. जानबूझ के तो कोई विकर्म जो है, जानबूझ के करना नहीं पड़ता है. कोई गलती से हमसे ये हो गया तो हम तुरंत क्षमा याचना मांग लेते हैं, हमसे ये गलती हो गई है ना. तो so what's this foundation of this resolute determination? So Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport, the resolute purpose of a person in Krishna consciousness is based on knowledge. ठीक है प्रभु? The purpose of a person in Krishna consciousness is based on knowledge. जो हम बोलते हैं ज्ञान योग. It is based on knowledge. और बुद्धि को प्योर करना है तो कैसे होता है? ज्ञान से होता है. So that ज्ञान योग, that purpose, the resolute purpose, Vasudeva Sarvamiti Samahatma Sudurlabha, a person of Krishna consciousness is a rare good soul who knows perfectly that Vasudeva or Krishna is the root of all manifested causes. Okay, तो ये strong determination, इसीलिए बुद्धि का characteristics. यहाँ पे अभी जो बात बोल रहा हूं मैं, कि a person, because for us we have been hearing, right? Right? Krishna is Sarva Karana Karanam Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam, we say, right? So Krishna, Govinda is Sarva Karana Karanam. So it takes multiple life for one to come to an understanding of Vasudeva Sarvamiti, right? That kind of Mahatmas are very, very less. So by acting in Krishna consciousness, one can render highest service to Krishna. Example भी देते हैं Srila Prabhupada in the books. प्रपट में क्या देते हैं? जस्ट बाय वाटरिंग द रूट्स the water is already received by the leaves, twigs, branches, flowers, whatever, right? You don't have to water them separately. जब हम पानी देते हैं झाड़ के अंदर तो जड़ों के अंदर पानी देना पड़ता है, तो झाड़ के सारे पोर्शन पर ऑटोमेटिकली पानी पहुंच जाता है। तो वैसे ही हम स्ट्रॉन्ग रेजोल्यूट डिटर्मिनेशन जब कृष्णा पे रखेंगे तो अन्य देवी देवता भी ऑटोमेटिकली प्रसन्न होंगे। भगवत गीता आपको कहीं स्टॉप नहीं करती है। डू नॉट, बिकॉज जो भी दृढ़ निश्चय, जो भी आपका सर्वस्व है, आप उनको भले ही पूजो, लेकिन इस तथ्य को समझो, जो कि शास्त्रों का मर्म जो हम कहते हैं ना, कि इस तथ्य को समझो कि एक्टिंग इन कृष्णा कॉन्शियसनेस, केवल यदि हम जड़ों को पानी देंगे तो पूरे वृक्ष को पानी मिल जाता है, तो केवल कृष्ण को पूजेंगे तो सारे देवी देवता भी प्रसन्न हो जाते हैं। क्योंकि अंत में देवी देवताओं की पूजा में भी अंत में सबसे पहले हम जो भी पूजा करते हैं, सुपारी लगाते हैं, एक कलश लगाते हैं, वो सब हम सोचते हैं गणेश जी के लिए कर रहे हैं, परंतु वह सब होता है विष्णु के लिए। सबसे पहले विष्णु पूजा होती है कलश स्थापना से। तो इस प्रकार वन कैन रेंडर हाईएस्ट सर्विस टू एवरीवन, नेमली टू हिमसेल्फ ऑल्सो, क्योंकि खुद की कृष्ण के मंत्र करने से उसका प्योरिटी होगा, देन फैमिली, देन सोसाइटी, एंड देन country, and then humanity. We have understood that sequence, right? When we were doing chapter 1, we slowly came to this, how one has to look into it. So if Krishna is satisfied by one's action, then everyone will be satisfied, right? अक्षय पात्र का एग्जाम्पल है। कृष्णा ने आधा दाना खाया था द्रौपदी के अक्षय पात्र से, खुद तृप्त हो गए और सारे 10,000 ऋषि मुनियों को, जो कि दुर्वासा के शिष्य थे, उनको भी तृप्त कर दिया। तो इसीलिए for us, what is the best practice of service to Vasudeva Sarvamiti, to Krishna, is Srila Prabhupada is again writing, extending service to Guru, right? Yasya prasada Bhagavad prasado yasya prasadatana gati kutobi dhyayan suvantasya yasya trisandyam vande Guru Shri Charanaravindam. So 3 बार गुरु की पूजा करनी चाहिए, गुरु को याद करना चाहिए. That is what exactly once we said, once we do Guru Puja, it is as good as we have performed all Devi Devata's puja, right? Because we do Guru Puja with the Guru Tattva, and which includes all Devi Devata's puja. So 33 करोड़ सारे देवी देवताओं की पूजा आपने कर ली है. That is what is by just doing Guru Puja, offering flowers to the Guru. You are doing obeisances to all the 33 Devi Devatas, 33 crore Devi Devatas. So Guru is the representative of Krishna, who can guide his student, who knows his student very well, who can guide his student, and also who can act firmly, who can make him act firmly to take by giving instructions and guide him in his life so that he can decide his mission of life, right? ekeha kuru-nandana, एक ही है अर्जुन, kuru-nandana is Arjuna, Kuru ke Nandan. Kuru is the king, ancestor of the Kauravas and Pandavas. So actually even Pandavas were called Kuru. They were separated out by whom? Dhritarashtra, in the first shloka itself, where he says, Mamaka Pandavaschaiva, मेरे और पांडु के पुत्रों के बीच क्या चल रहा है युद्ध में, मुझे बताओ. There he differentiates, whereas Pandu and Dhritarashtra both were sons of Kurus. They all were called Kaurav. कौरवों को अलग किया था धृतराष्ट्र ने, संबोधन के हिसाब से ही किया हो, परंतु उसके अंदर डीप मीनिंग भी छुपा होता है कि भाई सगे भाई वे भी कौरव ही थे, तुमने उनको अलग कैसे कर दिया, पांडव अपने भाई के पुत्रों को बोल के. तो डिसेंडेंट ऑफ कुरुस. So vyavasāyātmikā buddhi, ekeha kuru-nandana का अर्थ होता है those who have vyavasāyātmikā buddhi, that is fixed in the absolute resolute determination, fix themselves on one goal, fix themselves on just one goal, ekeha. Next line is bahu-śākhā hi anantāś. bahu-śākhā का अर्थ होता है multi branched, many branch. He is not stopping there. He is saying hi anantāś. Hi anantāś means Infinite. You try to count the branches, it's very like, when a huge tree, if you try to count so many branches, it's small, within that, so many. So, infinite. So, tree first grows into a single stem, and you say most of the trees grows into one single stem, and then bifurcates into many branches. Bahu-śākhā. So that is bahu-śākhā. Multi-branched focus. Buddhayo vyavasāyinām. Buddhaya vyavasāyinām. Their buddhi is vyavasāyinām. Buddhayo means buddhi in plural sense. Vyavasāyinām, not fixed. Vyavasāyinām we said is fixed. Of course, business also we said, we'll come to business also. Vyavasāyinām is non-business, that is not fixed. So those whose determination is not fixed, rather moves from one branch to another branch, have multiple goals in their life, their buddhi is called vyavasāyinām. Their buddhi is called vyavasāyinām. The vyavasāya is multi-branched. How this multi-branch becomes, जैसे एक ट्री से अनेक ब्रांचेस निकलते हैं तो वो शाखा बन जाती है, वैसे ही कृष्ण से एक स्टेम की तरह निकलते हैं, परंतु अनेक शाखाओं में विभक्त हो जाते हैं, अनेक उपासनाओं में विभक्त हो जाते हैं. इसलिए कृष्ण ने यहाँ पे यूज किया है बुद्धयो इन प्लूरल फॉर्म, stating that you will find many buddhis which are not in resolute determination, and the one in resolute determination is very less. That's why he used in singular sense. Buddhayo vyavasāyinām. Okay, you see, आगे चल के बोलेंगे मनुष्याणाम सहस्रेषु कश्चिद् यतते सिद्धये. हजारों सहस्त्रों मनुष्यों में से कोई एक है जो विरला है, जो कृष्णा कॉन्शियसनेस में आता है, कृष्ण को समझ पाता है, वासुदेव सर्वमिति समझ पाता है. बहुत एक ही है, विरला, बहुत. कई लोग तो फिर उसी ब्रांचों में हो जाते हैं, और वो ब्रांचों में खोने कर आगे चल के हम बहुत कुछ. So when he is referring this as buddhayo, he is also referring to various buddhis which are indulging in indriya truptis. They want to satisfy their senses, material consciousness, and very less come to resolute determination, which is Krishna consciousness, material consciousness and Krishna consciousness, material plane and spiritual plane. So again, when he used anantāś, he is defining intricate complicacies, infinite branches interlocking with each other. So complex structure in which one can get lost. The whole purpose, the whole goal sometimes may get lost. Generally, how we say a person can get lost? How we can say a person has got lost?
When he lost it. When he is in a confusion or lost.
So when in a confusion, what do you say?
Like he doesn't have any purpose, like what to do.
So what one word I want for that? I want one word. He's correct. Huh? No. Focus. When you lose your focus. है ना? हमने शुरू में ही समझा था. We have to focus, right? When did we hear? When we started, like second chapter there itself, like, you have to start focus, right? Without focusing, nothing is going to happen. So by losing your focus, है ना, अगर वो अर्जुन ने भी अगर फोकस किया होता तो उसको पत्ते वत्ते सब दिखते, परंतु उसका फोकस बड़ा स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड था, लक्ष्य बड़ा साफ था, उसका लक्ष्य की ओर उसको फोकस. सो अव्यवसायिनाम का अर्थ होता है पर्सन इज गेटिंग लॉस्ट बिकॉज ऑफ सो मेनी फोकसेस. अरे मुझे ये भी करना, मुझे ये भी करना, जो भी करना. Person is getting lost because of various focuses. So that is what is called multi-branch focus, and which will make him get lost from the real purpose of life. Don't think that, वो ऑफिस में 10 फोकस का काम देते हैं, but ultimate goal focus एक रखो. So his desires to enjoy more would make him more further focused on many branches, I can say. Okay, to fulfill his many desires, he focuses on many branches. That's what it is. So in order to fulfill his innumerable desire, he will take to more goals, and the end result is he would be a vyavasāyinām. The business or the purpose is lost. So it is very interesting that this verse is talking about intelligence as a part of function of your intention or determination. When Prabhu asked that question, na, ye man ka hai ya buddhi ka hai na? So it is very interesting that this verse is talking about intelligence as a part of function of one's intention or determination. Dhrad nishchay. So the point to be noted here is our consciousness follows our intent. Our consciousness follows our intent. What consciousness we have, intent comes out accordingly. So Krishna is indirectly saying, Arjuna, that your intelligence has become multi-branched to Arjuna. Oh, kuru-nandana, I should do this, I should not fight, I should not kill my persons, I will sit down, I will go and beg for alms, and I'll become a renunciate. So you are losing your intelligence into multi-branch focuses, Arjuna. Don't do that. Stay fixed. Stay fixed. And in the next verse, only he will speak about, the aim of, that, if you are focusing here and there, it is like that attaining a heaven, and those similar worldly gains, which he said before also. So their intelligence becomes multi-branched, vyavasāyinām. That is what you will come to know. But those who seek eternal gain, for them the intelligence always stays fixed. Okay, there may be n number of problems on their way, but buddhi will be fixed. So this verse, Krishna is asking us to focus our buddhi on, focus your intelligence on single point. And in next verse, Krishna will speak. Those who cannot focus on single point, it is because of the multi-branched natures where, the buddhi is abducted by various attachments, or, buddhi is not fully developed. Hum padhenge 42, 43 mein. Their inner determination will determine, intelligence is, that is where exactly he will give this contrast. Here he is giving contrast of vyavasāyātmikā buddhi, and vyavasāyātmikā buddhi will continue with 42, 43, and he will make, to realize that, this is intelligence is an important aspects of you being as a soul. You have to use your intelligence to decide the factor, the ultimate goal, which will lead you to eternity, rather than stay in this material world, janma mrityu ke chakkar mein kaatte raho. So many times you see children, not interested to read. Right? Okay, they are reading, they are doing, but abhi padhne ka man nahi kar raha hai. Kya karta hu? TV dekhta hu. हो सकता है थोड़ी देर मैच देख लेता हूँ, या हो सकता है थोड़ा खेल के आ जाता हूँ, या हो सकता है थोड़ा इंस्टाग्राम पे फोन चला लेता हूँ. So whatever kind, he will try to take different types of breaks, right? The key to recognize here is that our determination will direct our intelligence. Okay, you can take breaks, because Bhagavad Gita doesn't say that you don't have to take break. You can. But you have to understand your goal. You have to understand your goal. And within that goal, how you take your break is the part of your intelligence. And that strong determination, if you have, that I have to clear my 12th, my degree, my whatever exam, that strong determination will guide you towards that particular goal, right? And that, okay, you may see some TV here and there, you might have some reels also, thoda jaake bahar khel bhi liya, fir aake padh liya, but your goal is fixed. That is. So in dictionary meaning also, when you say determination, what is the dictionary meaning of determination? Yeah, being firm on something which is for a purpose. Being firm for a purpose. Abhi aapne kisi ne bola tha na, purpose. He loses for the purpose. So focus is for the purpose. So when intelligence is strong, one becomes determined, and then he can manage his life very symbiotically, right? तो फिर कोई भी कुछ नहीं बोलेगा, पापा भी कुछ नहीं बोलेंगे, मम्मी भी कुछ नहीं बोलेगी, because वो इंटेलिजेंस से अपनी पढ़ाई करना जानता है, उसकी बुद्धि स्थिर है, पढ़ाई करता है तब डिटरमिन्ड वे में करता है, अभी थोड़ा खेल रहा है, खेल के आ जाएगा तो अपने आप करना शुरू कर देगा दैट टाइम। बट व्हेन मदर फादर नोस इसको पढ़ना आता नहीं है और ये अभी टाइम पास कर देगा, पढ़ाई नहीं करेगा, तो क्या हो गया ना, दैट इज वेयर मल्टी ब्रांच फोकस. So what Krishna says is very important. That is why, and we have to understand it that way only, because in 2.39 he said, "Buddhya yukto yaya partha." With buddhi you engage yourself. Oh, Arjuna, he said, right? So with buddhi you engage yourself. So we make our intelligence strong. And how we can make our intelligence strong? Huh? Knowledge. And knowledge obtained by Guru, Sadhu and Shastra. We don't just leave it to Guru also, okay? Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. ISKCON is very clear. This is Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. Because if they are real, they will not speak which is against these each other. They will speak what is in principle with this each other. Sometimes one may read, like we ourselves, like there were the variations between what was said before and what is said now. है ना, आत्मा एक जगह स्थित है परंतु सब जगह है, तो है ना, तो सब जगह जाने लायक है ना. तो इस प्रकार जो ऐसे कॉन्ट्राडिक्शंस अभी 37-38 में भी हमने कॉन्ट्राडिक्शन देखा था, है ना. सो that fight for the sake of fighting, and okay, you have to fight for the swarga. So we heard this. So in that case, one has to get, guidance, and that is where Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. And again, there is two types of intelligence we have to understand. One which is material intelligence and one which is spiritual intelligence. Okay, that is what is the real intelligence. So this is kaise bol sakte hain. So very easy. You can see some people very good at maths, some people very good at science, some people very good at arts. Prabhu will say, right? We don't have to teach them. Probably we have to just give them the clue and they will start solving the problem. But with that problem, are they going to solve the problem of this life, birth and death? So that is also one goal, right? So that is where it comes out to be on the material plane, and that which will take you further, connect you with the spirit, that intelligence is called vyavasāyātmikā buddhi, which is spiritual intelligence. And that it will be possible that you will be able to do it with the help of Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. How many of you have done this Arangetram here, children? Arangetram, नाम सुना है? यहाँ पे होता है ना, कुचिपुड़ी सिखाते हैं, कुछ भरतनाट्यम सिखाते हैं और फिर सबके सामने प्रेजेंट करते हैं. अरंगेट्रम बोलते हैं ना उसको, है ना? संस्कृत वर्ड है अरंगेट्रम, संस्कृत वर्ड है. जैसे कोई टीचर ने भरतनाट्यम 5-6 बच्चों को सिखाया, फिर उनको पूरे वो नखरे के कपड़े पहना के सब स्टेज पर एक बार सामने करते हैं और उसके बाद में ये करते हैं. तो ये परफॉर्मेंस है ना. तो वो परफॉर्मेंस पहले गुरु के लिए रहता है, राइट? Guru will present it to the entire public. So by doing that, you are thanking Guru. Gurur Devo, Gurur Maheshwara, you start off with all those prayers, right? You are thanking Guru, Krishna, and then you are using it for the other purposes, right? ये अभी तो यहाँ पे हम सऊदी अरेबिया में मंदिर नहीं, ये नहीं है. Generally, this program, Arangetram, that is generally first done in the temple, and especially Krishna temple. Only with the attitude of gratitude. And gratitude to whom? Guru and Krishna. ओडिसी नृत्य कोई बच्ची पहले सीखेगी तो उसको पहले जगन्नाथ के सामने करना है, उसके बाद ही पूरे जगत के सामने करना है. पहले जगन्नाथ फिर जगत. तो it is an act of attitude. If it is an act of your attitude as gratitude towards your superiors who has given you this particular jnana, has given you this particular hunar, and then it is for the public. So this is where exactly the intelligence, the ultimate goal should be to realize Guru and Krishna, and materially of course we'll have many things, but the ultimate focus should be that. So in achieving that particular super goal, we may have any other small goals fixed in our life, but it should all contribute to that supreme goal. So Krishna in a subtle sense is addressing that the perception that doing so, is like, by saying vyavasāyātmikā and vyavasāyinām, you may come across various contradictions, even in the scriptures. We came across in Bhagavad Gita only, how they can be understood. Only they can be understood by going to Guru, Sadhu and Shastra, who can only look it at a whole purpose point of view and then give you the conclusion. Shastra also gives conclusion. The conclusion of Shastra is Bhagavad Gita only, right? इसलिए इसको जो उपनिषद बोलते हैं, इसको गीतोपनिषद बोलते हैं, सारे शास्त्रों का सार है, मर्म है. तो इसके लिए ज्ञानिनस तत्वदर्शिना, मेरे को तत्वदर्शन के पास जाना है, जो गुरु है वो मेरे को ये बता सकता है. And when you understand, then you will understand that whatever is said in the scriptures, whether it is in Jnana Yoga or Karma Kanda or Bhakti Yoga or Dhyana Yoga, they are all coherent. Coherent, I said last time, right? When the discussion vary, we say whether the Jnana is incoherent. Then you will come to know it is not incoherent, it is coherent only because the ultimate purpose is to achieve the sublime. The single pointed goal, okay? Which keeps us always going ahead in life. So when you start doing regular bhakti, Krishna will test you also in this way. When you start coming to classes every Friday, Krishna will give you a test. किसी को भेजेगा, अरे यार प्रोग्राम है आज, कहाँ जाते हैं? एवरी हफ्ते तो जाते हो भगवद गीता सुनने, क्या करोगे? आज चलो इस क्लास में जाते हैं. So that's a test by Maya. How best you can manage, that is the focus which you can display. I don't say you don't have to go other way, but the question is, Maya will give you a test of life. Sometimes we'll find 40, 50 people and sometimes we'll find only 30, 30 people. Sometimes Maya tests. हरिदास ठाकुर, उनको भी माया ने बहुत टेस्ट करना चाहा था ना. एक पंडित ने एक वेश्या को भेजा था उनको गिराने के लिए, परंतु हरिदास ठाकुर ने उस वेश्या को भी भक्त में कन्वर्ट कर दिया. तो इतना पावर था उनके पास हरिनाम का, तो वे कर पाए थे. और हम शायद ऐसा ना कर पाए ना, हम भटक जाए तो वापस गोल पे आने के लिए हमको कभी कभी बहुत समय लग जाता है ना. आप लोग जब अभी तो स्कूल में हो, अभी तो आप स्कूल की पढ़ाई है, लेकिन when you go to higher school, you will have this backlogs. You did not attend your colleges in time, your attendance is fallen short, you are not able to write exams and there is a backlog. है ना? कितना वर्ड यूज आप लोगों ने सुना है? बैकलॉग सुना है ना? जो हायर स्टडीज है वो लोग सुने, बचपनों को पता नहीं है. बैकलॉग है ना? तो बैकलॉग क्लियर करने के लिए समय लग जाता है.
यही क्लियर.
कोई गोल्ड माइन, सभी लोग गोल्ड माइन में क्या करते हैं? डिग करके गोल्ड को निकालना होता है, राइट? वन डिग्स अ गोल्ड माइन फॉर गेटिंग द गोल्ड. The ultimate goal will be of what? To take out the gold. But in doing so, they may discover, n number of problems. They may fight with each other. One may hit the other person and there may be a big fighting and there may be a block and there may be so many things. So what will happen? Focus, इसका उसके झगड़ा नहीं, इसको इसके साथ मत रखो, उसको उसके साथ मत रखो, इसके साथ मत रखो, इसमें अपना सारा फोकस चला जाएगा. वो भी खाली, मैं इसके साथ रहूंगा तो मेरे को ये काम नहीं कर पा सकता हूं, मैं उसके साथ रहूंगा तो मैं उसके साथ ये काम नहीं कर पा रहा हूं. ऐसा करने से क्या होगा? आवर अल्टीमेट फोकस ऑफ फाइंडिंग दैट गोल्ड इज लॉस्ट और डिलेड, राइट? टू मच. So the focus should be on mining. Of course, if you have capacity and time and if you can solve that problem, you can. But your ultimate focus should be on mining, because that is the ultimate goal in material level. So similarly, we should focus on our goal without fail. We may have a number of dealings in our life and there may be a number of problems in life. So if you can fix those problems, okay, you should be healthy enough to fix those problems, or you should be stout enough, your intelligence should be strong enough to fix those problems. Otherwise, all problems, 100% problems, you cannot fix also, right? You have to carry forward. Then what do you do? When you cannot solve all your 100%, because you can, Janma Mrityu Jaravadi, these big 4 problems you anyway cannot solve, right? So then what do you do? When you have too many problems, what do you do? Will you leave that goal? CPM PERT chart किसने की? Engineers will do. CPM PERT chart, you are aware? You know anybody? CPM PERT. Anybody knows about this? Engineers know? You know, like you have n number of goals on your way. Okay, but your ultimate goal you have to reach. Then what do you do? And there are many problems. Then what do? You focus on those problems only which you can solve and which will help you to progress towards that particular step. Critical path. CPM बोलता हूँ. Critical path method.
Milestone chart.
Yes.
वो तो project management.
वो जो भी. तो हम लोग को इतना नहीं, हम तो खाली शुरू में मैथ्स में पढ़े थे तो इसलिए सो सीपीएम PERT जिसको हम बोलते हैं ना, क्रिटिकल पाथ मेथड. यस. So you cannot solve 100% problems. So through which you can achieve those next goal, you have to focus on that. When you focus on that, and how can you focus? By cultivating a steady consciousness. How can you focus? By cultivating a steady consciousness. And that is what we call as Krishna consciousness for our ultimate purpose goal of life. Okay? जन्म मृत्यु जरावादी के पार पड़ना है तो हमारा ultimate focus of life रहना चाहिए Krishna consciousness. So our consciousness should be towards that sublime, which will take away from this black world to the white world, right? Illuminated world. So in a nutshell, Krishna is saying that, change your focus from multi-branch function to a single branch, single pointed focus determination. So if you consider the dictionary meaning now of vyavasāya, okay, vyavasāya का मतलब होता है dictionary meaning business. Okay. So business का meaning होता है कि vyavasāyātmikā बुद्धि का मतलब होता है कि persons who are well connected in the business or who has an ability to be successful in that business. कितने लोग बिजनेस करते हैं जो फुली सक्सेसफुल होता है? कई बार बिजनेस साथ नहीं देता है ना? तो अर्थात क्या है, कहीं ना कहीं कुछ एक्सपीरियंस लैक हो गया था, कहीं ना कहीं कुछ कमी रह गई थी, या फाइनेंस की कमी रह गई थी, लोगों की कमी रह गई थी, कुछ ना कुछ कमी रह गई थी, जिसकी वजह से बिजनेस हमारा सक्सेस या वातावरण प्रकृति ने हमारा साथ नहीं दिया था ना, जो भी आजू बाजू वाले साथ नहीं दिया था, जिसकी वजह से हम लोग अव्यवसायी नाम हो गए, अर्थात हमारा बिजनेस डूब गया. सो आत्मा का एक ही बिजनेस है, इसीलिए कहा जाता है जन्म मृत्यु जरा व्याधि से दूर होना है, और इसके लिए कॉन्शियसनेस को डिटरमिन करना है और योग करना है कृष्ण के साथ में साथ तो vyavasāyātmikā बुद्धि. तो ये आपको एक गोल दे रहे हैं ना. He gave you the advantages last time, 3 advantages of following buddhi yoga, and now he is saying that buddhi yoga will not be possible unless you have that goal in life, right? Which is single focus goal. Now I have given you a diagram in WhatsApp. I think so new families will have to forward that. I don't know. I forgot to take a printout yesterday. I took one printout. I thought I'll write some notes, and then So can you all become successful in your business in attaining Krishna consciousness? Can it be a reality? Can you focus vyavasāyātmikā buddhi? Yes, very good. Can you so जन्म मृत्यु जरा व्याधि. इसलिए तो बोला ना, हमारे लिए तो एक ही बिजनेस है. जन्म मृत्यु जरा व्याधि का बिजनेस. कैन यू शिफ्ट योर बिजनेस टू अटेनिंग कृष्णा कॉन्शियसनेस का मतलब है वही जन्म मृत्यु जरा व्याधि का बिजनेस. व्हेन यू अटेन कृष्णा इट इज ऑल एज गुड एज दैट यू हैव क्लियर्ड एवरीथिंग, राइट? सो कैन यू शिफ्ट दैट? इज द प्रोसेस इजीली you can change it overnight?
You are multi-focus now. You have to make it single-pointed focus.
So what is the process?
First focus त्याग और आपको विवेक के
through. You know that very well. So I said okay. So you don't have to worry. Krishna, when he is asking you to become single-pointed focus, he is giving you the pathway also. And this pathway is nothing but a journey from Shloka 41 to 53. Journey 41, he spoke about vyavasāyika and avyavasāyinām buddhis, right? So the whole transformation is, if you see that in the diagram that I have given in the thing, that whole transformation is that from vyavasāyātmikā, from the vyavasāyinām, that is, bahu-śākhā buddhi, you have to transform yourself to vyavasāyātmikā, that is single point focus buddhi. And that is possible. Then only that, if that is possible, then you are in Krishna consciousness, then you can attain Krishna. So you don't know today. Of course, we have been guiding you through this, all those who chant and do this, that, and everything. But when Krishna spoke of vyavasāyātmikā buddhi to Arjuna, he did not leave it there. He gave the entire process to Arjuna, that how you can attain that buddhi of vyavasāyātmikā. In 53, you will get confirmed that steady consciousness. How will you get that? So that's the whole process. Which, so when you say what is Bhagavad Gita, sometimes this you say bahu-śākhā, that is when I put a diagram of a tree, and vyavasāyātmikā I put a point. In the mobile you can see, like, so a diagram. So the whole process is to transfer ourselves from this bahu-śākhā buddhi to single pointed focus buddhi. Bhagavad Gita also is giving you that same goal that you have to adopt in life. आप बुद्धि योग बुद्धिया तो यया पार्थ करना है, तो उस बुद्धि योग को अडॉप्ट करने के लिए पहले तो एडवांटेज समझा दिया. किसी को एडवांटेज समझा देंगे तो उस बुद्धि योग से काम करेंगे लोग, है कि नहीं? सो कर्म योग आगे जाके आपको करना है. सो ऑल दोस कर्म योग, हाउ यू हैव टू परफॉर्म इज थ्रू बुद्धि, एंड दैट बुद्धि हैज टू हैव सिंगल फोकस इन लाइफ. And how that single focus you can obtain is this entire chart. Okay. So in this chart, you will see the transition from a person from point A to point B. The point from various multi-branch tree to a single point dot. So how is it possible? So Krishna explains the process. So, since he has given us everything, he's explained the process also. So, of course, we will be reading this process completely. Later on, I'll just flow you through that chart, so that in future classes you will be aware. Till you reach 53, this is the entire process what we are speaking about. Okay, and by the end of 53, at least your focus should shift to Krishna consciousness. Of course, you are all shifted right now only, but the process we have to understand. So we have to have that determination. हमें वह उद्रुकता रहनी चाहिए. So first step I have given us some words, like vyavasāyātmikā buddhi will have 5 characteristics. We have to transfer ourselves from vyavasāyātmikā to vyavasāyātmikā, right? From multi-branched focus consciousness to single point focus consciousness. So 5 lakshan, जिसमें उन्होंने बताया था अविपश्चितः, वेदवातरतः, कामात्मना, स्वर्गपरा, नान्यदस्ति, ऐसा एक 5 क्वालिटीज उन्होंने दी है. I didn't write all because this will all form short. So men with poor fund of knowledge will understand all this. Okay, don't worry about it. Men with poor fund of knowledge, men who just follow the Vedas, वेदवाणी के ऊपर बहुत ज्यादा भरोसा करते हैं. Men who just follows the Vedas. Why? Yamimam pushpitam vacham. Because Vedavani is giving you pushpita, flowery words. In shlokas, you do this and you will get this, and then you will find that solace, your peace, and then then that you have 16 सोमवार करो, बहुत ही सुंदर पति मिलेगा. सब कुछ वेद में है, सब सारे. आप ज्योतिष्ठाम यज्ञ करो, आपको ये मिलेगा. आप अलग अलग यज्ञ के बारे में डिस्क्रिप्शन आएगा अगले श्लोकों में, विल गो इन डिटेल, वो बात की बात है. तो ऐसे यज्ञ करो, उससे ये प्राप्ति होगी, 1000 बार ये जप करो तो आपकी ये मृत्यु टल जाएगी. आपको वेदों में अनेक मंत्र बताए गए. सो हु फॉलो द वेदास, who are kamatmana, who are always desirous of sense gratification. नान्यदस्ति, बस यही सब कुछ मुझे करना है. स्वर्गपरा, aiming to achieve the Swargaloka. All these, Krishna says, comes under vyavasāyātmikā buddhi. अब बताओ, 80 to 90% of the population यही काम करता है. 99%, चलो अच्छा है, प्रभु is very clear. है ना? और That is where when Krishna gave, you have to understand, when I said Bhagavad Gita is spoken in layers and layers with different stages, levels. पहले स्वर्ग का ये दिया ना, बच्चे का एग्जांपल लिया था, बच्चे को उठाने के लिए हम लोग डेली उसको बोलते हैं कि उठो, भगवान मीन्स लाइक तुम्हारा ये फायदा होगा, वो फायदा होगा, और उसको उठ याद रहेगा, ऐसा करके बच्चे को उठने के लिए बोलते। तो कृष्णा गेव दैट फर्स्ट, यू विल गो टू स्वर्गा, यू विल एंजॉय देयर, even if you don't go, you will enjoy here. All those things he gave. And now he's calling all those as vyavasāyātmikā, and he's asking to become vyavasāyātmikā. So this is what Krishna Arjuna Samvade at different levels, how one can go through the message of Gita and you will not find it incoherent. तो ये सारे वेद वाणी अविपश्चित ये सब हम समझेंगे, ये सब करने से हम तुच्छ हो जाते हैं। They are nothing. 1:72, 1:1000, ये सब तुच्छ है हमारे लिए। लोग तो दीवाने हैं सिर्फ 72 पाने के लिए। तो ये भगवत गीता बता रही है ये सब चीजें तुच्छ है। Lack of resolute determination towards devotional service of the Supreme Lord, lack of focus will make you live. Why? Because Vedavani is Pushpita. It gives you भोग एंड ऐश्वर्य, आपको सेंस एंजॉयमेंट और ऑपुलेंस के कई कारण बताए गए हैं उसमें, भोग और ऐश्वर्य बताया हुआ है। इसीलिए तो ऐसे लोग अव्यवसायी रहते हैं। तो उसमें हम लोग सभी लोग थे, मैं नहीं बताऊं, हम भी है थोड़े बहुत अभी, लेकिन ओके थोड़े बहुत उधर आ गए, लेकिन थोड़ा थोड़ा है। सो हम सभी लोग इसी कैटेगरी में आते हैं। और वेदवाणी ये इसको व्यवसायत्मिक बुद्धि, अव्यवसायत्मिक बुद्धि बोल रहे हैं। सो ये हमको आगे बढ़ने नहीं देती, ये बहुत बड़ा डिटरेंस है बोलते हैं इन द पाथ ऑफ स्पिरिचुअल प्रोग्रेस। सो ये किस लिए होते हैं? क्योंकि वेदों में जितना भी बोला गया है वो 3 गुणों के अंतर्गत बोला गया है। त्रैगुण्य विषय वेदा, वेदा भी पहली बार यूज करेंगे नेक्स्ट श्लोक में। अभी तक भगवत गीता में वेदा नाम का शब्द आया नहीं था, पहली बार आएगा अगले शब्दों में। वो भी वेदा को एकदम डीप मीन्स लाइक छोटा बट्टा देंगे। कृष्ण एकदम ये नहीं बोलते मत फॉलो करो, बट दे आर अवयवसायिनाम, ही क्लियरली गिव्स हिज इंस्ट्रक्शन। और ये वेद त्रैगुण्य 3 गुणों से डील करते हैं। यू नो ऑल 3 modes are what? Satoguna, Rajoguna, and Tamoguna. Okay, so we'll not go into the details. So what happens working in this Tamoguna, Satoguna, and Rajoguna? These gunas are existing in the Prakriti. These gunas are existing in that same Prakriti is in our body. Those 5 gross elements are there in our body. Prakriti. So those gunas we also face. Gunas is there in the time also. Guna in the morning time is Satoguna, afternoon is Rajoguna, and night is Tamoguna. So they are there. So you automatically, when you interact, you get attached to it and you start expecting results out of it. When morning you get up, okay, you did puja, everything, जप कर लिया, सब कर लिया, उसके बाद में खाना बना, ऑफिस भागना है ना? ऑफिस भागना है क्यों? रजोगुण आ जाता है, जाके मुझे गोल्स पूरे करने हैं, कमाई करना है फैमिली के लिए। तो वो जब बढ़ जाता है तो, और कमाई जब करना है बोलते ही अटैचमेंट आ गया कमाई से। वो कमी आती है, ज्यादा नहीं आएगी, उसका नाम कमाई इसलिए वो कमी आती है, लेकिन हम लोग लगता है ज्यादा आ जाएगी। तो कम आई, नाम ही वही है, कमी आएगी, वो कभी ज्यादा नहीं आ सकती। तो कमाई के पीछे दौड़ते हैं, तो एक्सपेक्टेशन होता है विल गेट सैलरी एट द एंड ऑफ द मंथ, सो यू गेट अटैच्ड टू द सैलरी। So what's the solution? अटैचमेंट, अगर सैलरी से अटैचमेंट हो गया तो मटेरियल वर्ल्ड से अटैचमेंट हो गया है ना? मटेरियल वर्ल्ड से अटैचमेंट हो गया तो इसी मटेरियल वर्ल्ड में जन्म मृत्यु जरा व्याधि के चक्कर में रहना है, ये हम समझते हैं ना? Then what is the solution? That is why I said, you are attached to fruitive, active and results, and then there is arrow mark which I get, there is a solution. What is that solution? Krishna will say that also. What is that? Nistraigunyo Bhavarjuna. Get out of the 3 modes. गुण के अतीत हो जाओ, है ना? इसलिए उनका एक नाम भी है गुणातीत। गुणातीता या गुणबदाय, वो कुछ बोलते हैं। So nistraigunyo bhavarjana, you have to transcend these 3 modes. How do you transcend the 3 modes? When you get connected, one who is not in these 3 modes, then you transcend the three modes. Krishna says, I am there in this world, but I am not in this world. I am above these three modes. So when you attach yourself to Krishna, you are above the three modes. Nistrai Gunya Bhavarjuna. So he's asking himself to attach. That is why I said 2.61. He'll say directly, you take me as the object and concentrate and focus your buddhi. 2.61, that is where he'll say. So you become Nistrai Gunyo. So how is it that we can become Nistrai Gunyo? At this stage, okay, we are not bhaktas, right? We are not, हम ज्ञानी नहीं बन चुके हैं, कि भक्त नहीं बन चुके हैं, सन्यासी नहीं बन चुके हैं. So what is the solution in front of us? So I'm telling the summary of all this which is going to come through. Huh? So that's why I written how. How is this possible? And he also gives, in Nistrai Gunyo, he'll give example of a lake and a well. Well serves a limited purpose of water, and a lake would serve greater purpose. बहुत सारे लोगों को. So आप जो है निश्चय गुण्य बनो तो बने कैसे? तो वहां पे बोलते हैं रिकॉग्नाइज योर ड्यूटी. आप अपने कर्तव्य को पहचानो. स्वधर्म जो बोला था ना, कर्तव्यों को पहचानो. यार उसके अंदर फिर रूल्स दे दिया. When you give and understand your duty, he gave with 3 rules. And what are those rules? Perform your prescribed duty. Prescribed duty based on guna, that is varna ashram. You have to prescribe your duty. Only that is allowed. You have to perform. That's where I put a tick. आप मोबाइल में देखोगे उस चार्ट में. That is where I put a tick. You have to perform that duty. And do not expect results. I put no entry mark there. Do not expect any results. And not doing duty is also not prescribed. Anything else? And not doing duty is also not prescribed. That is also not entry. You have to do your duty. So these are the 3 rules of karmanyeva adhikarasya. That is the shlok which will come through. That recognize your duty. Mata karma phal hetur ho, mate sangostva akarmani. Akarmani he says that time. So perform your duty. How you will perform your duty? Perform equipoised. That is the first definition of yoga which will come through. Here he said, do it for the sake of doing. There he'll say, perform your duty equipoised. First definition of yoga, 2.49 I said, na? 49 I said, 2.49. So perform your duty equipoised. Yukto yeya. वही अमेरिका से ना. What's the shloka? 49 I guess. That is before that. 2.48. Yogastha kuru karmani sangham tyaktva dhananjaya. Samatvam yoga uchyate. Right? That is the yoga. Be equipoised. Abandon all your attachment of success and failure. You are not entitled to. You don't think that, because you are doing, you will get that success. No. Person, we have one of the student who is very good at studies, but suddenly he failed in exam. I'll tell my sister herself. She was always an 80 rank holder. But what happened, we don't know. What went wrong, we don't know. Within the numbering, what went wrong, we don't know. Stickering used to happen those days, many things. Not as sophisticated as today. She got 34. Just by 1 mark she is left. And she has to give only 6 months afterwards her exam, and then 1 year again got lost. Then she can take admission only in next April. So result, you can do anything, but passing and failure is not in your hands. You can do only your kartavya. So you have to understand that. Okay, you understand that, but keep yourself away from all abominable activities. Dhurena yavaram karma. Keep yourself दूर. कैसे कर्मों से? All abominable activities, जिसको विकर्म हम कहते हैं शास्त्रों में. Be away from vikarma and always involved in the activities of devotional service in the shelter of Guru and Krishna. So relinquish both your Shubh and Ashubh Phal. That will also be spoken there. You know, when he says activities in Krishna consciousness, अर्थात पाप पुण्य से आपको ऊपर उठना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि आप जो भी कार्य करोगे उससे पाप पुण्य अचीव करोगे, उस पाप पुण्य को भी आपको फ्री करना पड़ेगा. And that is possible only through Krishna consciousness. When you surrender those results of those in favor of Krishna consciousness. So keep all from available. वैसा करने से क्या होगा? When we relinquish both good and bad karmas, हम इसलिए कहते हैं ना सर्वम कृष्णा अर्पणमस्तु, हरि ओम तत्सत बोल के we end up. उसका अर्थ क्या है? We are giving it to Krishna. Whatever punya we have done, we are giving it to you, because we don't want to take birth because of this punya again. Papa also. So both papa and punya karma are equally binding. They will keep you in this material world of this 14 planetary system. So by relinquishing them, you will become ultimately Manishina. Manishina means great sages or devotees, or who are liberated from the bondage of birth and death. You know, you get to that stage. And then you will become Nirvedam. Means he started from Veda and he'll end with, you will become Nirvedam. That, you know, your intelligence will attain a stable state of detachment and samadhi, and that is where steady consciousness comes in 53. From Vedas to Nirvedam. So this is what is the journey of this Nishkam Karma Yoga, we call it as. And Nishkam Karma Yoga, results offered to Krishna, it becomes Bhakti Yoga. Or when we have kept Krishna in the center of all our yogas, it becomes Bhakti Yoga. So this transition we'll be understanding shlok by shlok. Right from 42 onwards only, up to 53, we will have to do one only, because very big they are. So many times the concepts and all those needs to be very clear. Of course, we'll have some summer break in between. But whatever be the case, even after summer break, I just gave you this diagram. So just contemplate on this diagram. We are in which stage and how we have to qualify ourselves to become Nishkam Karma Yogi. Right? Hare Krishna. किसी का कुछ doubt अभी है? कुछ डाउट्स? कुछ नहीं. अरे बाप रे, क्या बात है. नए लोग हो, कोई जिज्ञासा हो तो बिल्कुल पूछ सकते हैं. क्या समझ में आया आज? चलो ये पूछता हूं मैं. ये भी एक तरीका है समझना. क्या समझ में आया?
Should have a focus, right? And branch नहीं होना चाहिए. It should be we should have a focus.
Focus on one single goal in life, one single goal. Yes. And achieving that goal, we may have a number of problems, as I discussed about gold mine, as I discussed about people coming to Bhakti regularly and then people getting stopped because of Maya. We find many people, you know, they stop coming only. So that's not in our hands. So some Atma Sudurlabha, very rare, who will come to Vasudeva Sarvam stage. Hare Krishna. So that is the reason we don't find, somebody stopped coming, or we say once or they'll come in the occasions. Okay, Veda Vada Rata, let it be, no problem. Hare Bol. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.